Mahadev. Today, in this session, we are going to discuss the importance of inner child healing and its place in twin flame relationships. Many oftentimes, our counterpart is going to behave in a certain way that is going to give us triggers, and it's a given. It happens to the best of us, and in that moment of receiving that trigger, we feel incredibly heartbroken. We feel pain, we feel hurt, we feel unheard, neglected, unseen, we feel ignored. And many other negative emotions come up at that point of time when our divine counterpart is running away from us. But this is essentially happening so that we can initiate the healing within ourselves, to bring focus and to bring attention towards parts of ourselves that have been wounded for very long. During the course of these sessions, I'm going to bring our attention towards a practical viewpoint on how to approach inner child healing, how to approach your triggers, and also we'll be coming up with an inner child meditation in the second part of this video. So you can stay tuned for that. Our inner child healing is a crucial part of our personal and spiritual development, especially in the context of twin flame relationships, because 100% of the time when you are triggered by this person, it is not you. You are not being triggered. It is your own egoic self, your own separate self that has held lots of hurt and wounding and trauma and suppression and conditioning within themselves that is being hurt. The divine aspect is unhurt, right? There is absolutely nothing that can hurt you, that can cause pain to you. It's only the egoic self or the separate self that experiences pain and suffering, right? So understanding the inner child healing. What is inner child healing? The first part that affects us is individual healing, right? So by healing our inner child, we address deep-seated wounds and traumas that may be affecting our emotional and mental well-being. This creates a healthier foundation for our personal growth, right? Because this is shared healing between divine counterparts. So like they trigger you, you are also going to be triggering their unhealed wounds as well, right? So twin flames often mirror each other's wounds. Healing your inner child can help resolve shared traumas and emotional patterns, which are contributing to both partners' healing. Second is emotional balance. Healing the inner child helps in achieving emotional stability. Twin flame relationships can be intense and challenging, and having emotional balance or emotional intelligence is going to allow you to navigate these challenges with greater ease and understanding. The third aspect of inner child healing is unconditional love and self-acceptance. Inner child healing fosters self-love and self-acceptance, wherein you are putting yourself first, right? You're not putting your divine counterpart on a pedestal. You are not pleasing them or trying to make them see your value and worth, right? So inner child healing is going to bring about a greater sense of self-acceptance within us, accepting and loving all different parts of ourselves, which enables us to extend the same unconditional love to our twin flame as well. And this strengthens the bond, it strengthens the connection. Not only this, this inner child healing or this acceptance work that you are going to do on yourself, it's going to help your divine counterpart, yes, but it's also going to improve the quality of your relationships around you as well. This might include friends and colleagues and family, your neighbor, anyone with whom you have been struggling in maintaining harmonious relationships. You will see like a beautiful unfoldment, a beautiful blossoming of relationships taking place. And I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but in many of the channels I have come across this fact that this concept of toxicity or toxic relationships, relationships that have gone really bad. But if we pick up our Vedic texts, and if we pick up any serious spiritual material, we will come across the fact that that negativity, that toxicity that is being shown to us is within us, is present within us. That's why it's getting reflected in that relationship, and probably there is some karma involved which needs to be rectified, right? So if we just shut a person out and we keep on running away, we are not essentially progressing on our spiritual path, right? So I'm not asking you to completely do this at the cost of your own mental peace and well-being. Lay down loving boundaries where needed, but at the same time, when you're laying down that boundary with a person who is not behaving correctly with you, is not behaving lovingly or respectfully towards you, by withdrawing your communication, you are communicating with them that this is not how one loves another, right? So you are actually essentially teaching them how to love you and how to love themselves as well, right? So somewhere the other person is throwing hurt at you, they are holding that hurt within themselves, because people only give what they have, and in that we come to self acceptance again. I've deviated a bit from the topic, but all of this was coming across. So acceptance is very, very, very important in the self healing journey, because it helps you improve your bond, your connection with your divine counterpart, and it organically is going to improve your relationships around as well. The fourth point is removing blocks to union. So inner child healing is going to help you dissolve any unhealed childhood wounds that create this illusion, that create the blocks, that create the resistance between the divine counterparts, right? That prove to be a hurdle on this twin flame journey. So inner child healing will help you to identify and to clear these blocks one by one as they come up, and it's all part of the self healing process, but it facilitates the smoother progress towards union. The fifth point is deepening spiritual connection. So as you heal your inner child, you become more aligned with your true self, your own divine nature, your own purity, your own innocence, sense of joy, sense of wonder, sense of excitement comes back to you, because this alignment enhances your spiritual connection with your twin flame, right? Fostering deeper understanding and spiritual growth. The sixth point is enhancing communication. Healing your inner child improves your ability to communicate openly and honestly with love. And I cannot focus more on this. When we start our healing process, many of us have lots of suppressed emotional energy, specifically the feminines. It doesn't have to be so, but mostly I've observed that the feminine will hold more of like this shame and guilt energy, holding all of her emotions back, not feeling free to express volatility or anger or frustration quite open-heartedly. So when we initiate on our healing journey, when we start understanding that there has been a lot of trauma, there has been a lot of wounding, and we are working towards recovering our true self, so there is that anger, natural anger, that finds its way up, and it's a natural bitterness that we have been hiding within ourselves for a long time, and it finds surface and it looks very, very ugly. So the healing process turns a little bit scary at this point, because you start literally spewing venom. You don't know where this is coming from. You actually are back talking. You find yourself being more vocal about your emotions, about your thoughts, wherein earlier you might have suppressed these things within yourself. Like you might have been oh, it's okay, let it be, let it go, I don't want to cause any problem, I just want to keep the peace. But now you know that keeping the peace is not the option, because it's like, whose peace is it keeping? It's not your peace, definitely. So when you start realizing these things as a natural part of the spiritual process, all of this venom, I call it, all of this bitterness starts coming up and surfacing. But if you keep on moving forward on your healing journey, you understand this is not working, okay? Because after saying all of these hard words to the other person, you yourself don't feel very good after a certain point. It feels like you've done something wrong, you don't feel good about it. And therein you start coming into a deeper sense of love, right? Not only for yourself but for the other person as well. So you start opening up uh, a new level of empathy within yourself, right? So you start understanding that all of these bitter exchanges, all of this name calling or bad mouthing is not helping, and it needs to change, right? So your communication is going to get more and more soft as you keep on working with your inner child. Because remember how we talk with children, right? We stoop down, we come to their level, we maintain eye contact, we use a soft voice, we become pleasing, in our demeanor, right? We have a smile on our faces and we talk gently, we talk beautiful words with the children. So that's how all of us are essentially. With your inner child healing, you are going to recognize that every single person that you come across is essentially a 5-year-old trapped within a adult body, right? So you start everyone through that lens, that everyone is essentially a child, because when they are going to get angry, they are actually throwing a tantrum. So so you become a little bit more aware, little bit more empathy starts coming in slowly as you move towards inner child healing, right? And then the next point is raising vibration. So inner child healing raises your vibrational frequency by releasing negative emotions and limiting beliefs. You let go of old conditioning, you let go of old things that have been taught to you in the past, like money doesn't grow on trees and you're not supposed to behave this way, good girls don't do this, and boys are not supposed to cry, and so on and so forth. So these are all family conditionings. So, and on top of that there might be societal conditionings as well, right? Like especially the ideas that we hold around non-stereotypical relationships, right? Like homosexuality and otherwise. So when we start working with our own inner child, we become more soft within our own heart, okay? And we are regaining that sense of innocence, we are regaining that sense of wonder, right? That ability to question again starts coming in, okay? You find yourself asking questions because most of the times, as the child evolves and develops, they stop asking questions, because probably the child is asking too many questions and they are snubbed. So it's like, oh god, you don't stop with these questions. So the child slowly then leans back onto themselves, and they start gathering their own information from their peers, from what they see on TV, on social media, on YouTube, and so on and so forth, and then they create their own world. So with inner child healing, we raise vibrations because we are letting go of all of these negative things that we have carried on within ourselves. Subconsciously we have been holding all of this gunk within our own minds, which not necessarily is true. So higher vibrations attract positive experiences, and it is scientifically proven as well, and it facilitates the twin flame ascension process. So essentially, when we are doing the inner child healing work upon ourselves, we naturally grow lighter in our emotions, right? Because all of the heaviness, all of the darkness, all of the negativity, we are not running away from ourselves, we are not shutting it out, we are not ignoring it, we are not escaping from it through Netflix and binging on chocolates and junk food and just distracting ourselves with meaningless associations and such. So we are sitting down with the hard emotions, with the negative emotions, and thus then it stops bothering you, because that pain is essentially energy that is calling in for our attention. So once we pay attention to it, once we sit with it, we feel it, we experience it fully, and thus it leads us to an elevated state of being. And so, on this twin flame journey to achieve union with our divine counterpart, it becomes very, very important that we first clear out our own past wounding, and at least we become aware of it. And hence, the first step that we take towards our own healing process is starting to work with our own inner child. And in this series, in all of the subsequent parts, I'm going to be discussing how we can approach inner child healing. And of course, there is also going to be a guided meditation which is going to help us with this process. So stay tuned. I hope you benefited from this video. I love you so much. Take care, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys around.